2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, the hardest part to me was still just the shock to my system in Georgia. I mean, those first 75 miles in Georgia were tough. Probably because I didn't have a whole lot of backpacking experience and just the ups and downs of the terrain there.
The biggest of the early ups and downs is over Blood Mountain. At 4,461 feet, Blood is the highest Georgia mountain on the Appalachian Trail.
Blood Mountain was a spectacular. It was my first good view.
There's some really, actually very beautiful parts of Georgia that were awesome, and I was like imagining how much better looking they would be like in 2 or 3 weeks.
When spring
I was
there.
like, oh, it's so great right now. I'm sure this is a great view. When there's, it actually looks like there's trees on it.
There's a color besides brown.
Yeah.
Most northbound hikers start in March and early April, when it's still winter in the Georgia mountains.
Georgia was tough just because it was cold and wet, and there was always the danger of hypothermia.
We were freezing to death. I mean, all of our water bags froze up and the creek froze up.
Our last night in Georgia, there was like a snow cover when we woke up. So our tent had a little bit of snow on it. And taking down the tent at that point in the morning when it's like 16 degrees or something like that, you can't feel your fingers.
One place of relief from the early cold is Neal Gap, location of the Mountain Crossings Outfitter and Hostel.
Mountain Crossings is an outdoor store. It's located directly on the Appalachian Trail, just under 31 miles from Springer Mountain, which is the southern terminus of the trail. It's the first outdoor store that the hikers come to.
Neal Gap is one of the southernmost points hikers can resupply food and other supplies. The majority of resupplies are done in trail towns, usually reached by hitchhiking from road crossings.
She's like, I'll give you guys a hitch back as long as you guys aren't gonna hurt me. I'm like, I was like, we're hiking the Appalachian Trail. I don't think any of us have the energy to hurt you.
Yeah.
The trail towns are very hiker friendly, for the most part.
Have you had any favorite trail towns?
I think Hiawassee might have been my favorite, maybe just because it was the first one I went into.
Most trail towns have at least one hostel, so hikers can spend the night in town without having to splurge for a hotel room. For many years, Hiawassee was home to the Blueberry Patch Hostel, which provided a place to stay and eat for no more than an optional donation. The Blueberry Patch Hostel closed in 2015.